What does mental health mean to me? Mental health to me means just everything that's going on inside your head that might not be tangible, so you might not be able to actually see it. For example, if you hit your head, you're going to get a bump, but it's still just as valid. Just because it's in your head and you can't see it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be taken seriously. So growing up in the South Asian community, mental health, even though mental health in general has only become quite a big spoken about topic in regards to the Western world in the past few years, I'd say, South Asian community, it's still not really talking about. People don't really understand as well because there's that lingual barrier, because there's no actual word or translation for mental health in a lot of South Asian languages. So I think there's a lack of knowledge as to what it is, but also a lack of desire to actually understand what it is. I think obviously because a lot of South Asian people in this country are immigrants as well, they've kind of had to come over here and be like stiff upper lip and just kind of get on with things. And the idea for mental health hasn't really come in because they've had to go through so much. Whereas now, obviously, us like first gen, second gen, whatever, these children of immigrants are now actually experiencing stuff and are not necessarily feeling validated because people surrounding them just don't really understand what it is. So it's important that we as the next generation actually acknowledge and understand this so that our kids in the future don't feel as suffocated. If I was explaining mental health to an older person in the South Asian community, I would just go back to basics and just say to them, like I said just now, if I hit my head, it's going to hurt. And you will see that bump or that scar or whatever, and you will take that seriously. The same thing can happen even in your head. You can feel a certain way, and I'm sure you felt a certain way as well, and you don't necessarily know why it's come about, but just accepting that sometimes you feel down and allowing yourself to recover and giving yourself the time to recover, I think that's the important thing. And that doesn't necessarily mean being lazy either. Like, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm feeling sad today, I'm going to not do anything for a week. It just means being not so hard on yourself. What 3 things do I do daily to improve my mental health? I think just drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated is really important. Number 2, just getting fresh air, going for walks. And 3, I think honestly, just validating yourself. Like, yes, it's fine that I feel down today. Just because other people don't necessarily understand it or want to understand it, it doesn't make it any less important or valid.